from the Ministry of Education, who happens to be the Chief Government Representative to WASSCE. Sitting closely by the Head of National Office is Mr. J. Newman Smith, who happens to be the Head of Internal Audit. We also want to recognize one of our examiners, our chief examiners, Mr. Achapong. We want to say thank you for coming. And so with much ado, I want to turn the floor over to first the Deputy Minister for Instruction, who will make a little pronouncement, after which the Head of National Office will pronounce the provisional results. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'm delighted to welcome you, as is stated, to the Head Office of WASSCE to receive provisional results of the WASSCE that just took place a few months ago. And you have come today. I want you to inform our people, the Liberian people, whatever will be done here in good spirit, accurate, so that the new will be receiving everywhere in Liberia the duty of the WASSCE. The Head of National Office, Mr. Uto, will be able to inform the people of Liberia what brought the delay and how to resolve the case. Under the Minister of Education, and him appointed as Deputy Minister for Instruction, and also Acting Minister for the Minister of Education. I want to say again, you are welcome. You have come to listen, and thereafter we will invite you for questions and answers. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you, Minister. We are sorry this place is so small, and we remember that we have had this huge turnout. But let me start by welcoming you to our office on behalf of the chairman. You see the name of the chairman of council, and he's Professor Thomas Guma of Serbia. And I also want to welcome you on behalf of the registrar to council, who is also Mr. Pataba. And in my own name, our chairman has already spoken. And in my own name, and on behalf of the staff of the Memorial Office, we want to welcome you to the official pronouncement for the exams that were administered in 2024 in Liberia. So I will now start with the reading of this press statement. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'm delighted to welcome you to the Memorial Office of the West African Examinations Council for this year's very important press conference. This press conference marks the official pronouncement of the provisional results for the following examinations conducted by WASSCE for school candidates in Liberia. We have for school candidates. The council conducted 2 terms of examination for school candidates in Liberia in 2024. And the 2 exams are the national examinations and international examinations. The national examinations were developed and administered to candidates in Liberia who were in the 3rd, 6th, and 9th grade. The Council International Exam, the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, is available for candidates in the terminal class of senior high schools in all 5 English-speaking West African countries. Unlike the national examinations, WASSCE is a common test that candidates write at the same time in the 5 countries for subjects that are available in those countries. Subjects and entries for the examinations. The number of exams were conducted are 4. The first on our list, we have the West African Senior School Certificate exam. The exam was administered from the 15th of May to the 25th of June 2024 in 9 subjects. Then we have the Liberia Junior High School Certificate exam. It was administered on June 10 and 11 in 4 subjects. We have the Liberia Primary School Certificate exam. It was administered on June 6 and 7. in 4 subjects in the Liberia National Assessment Test, which was administered on 25 in 2 subjects. The entries for the examinations were received online, and the number of candidates from both public and private schools is as follows. It was 2. So for the Liberia National Assessment Test, we have 1,600 private schools that presented a total of 21,402 candidates, and 489 public schools that presented a total of 7,464 candidates, bringing the total number of schools for the Liberia National Assessment Test to 2,089, and the total number of candidates for that exam to 28,866. For the Liberia Primary School Certificate Examination, we have 2,053 private schools presenting a total of 31,070 candidates, as against 650 public schools with a total of 11,369 candidates. So we have a total of 2,703 elementary schools that participated in this exam with a total of 42,439 candidates. For the junior high, Liberia Junior High School Certificate exam, we have 1,570 of 27,336 candidates, and schools with a total of 19,065 candidates, giving us a total of 2,049 junior high schools and a total of 46,401 candidates who came in for the exam. For WASSCE, we have 790 private schools with a total of 34,993 candidates, and 185 public schools with a total of 15,417 candidates, making the total to 975 senior high schools and a total of 50,410 candidates. So in all, we had a total of 2,246 schools that presented candidates for all of these examinations, and of that, from the private sector and from the private sector, we have 114,801 candidates. From the public sector, we have 793 schools that presented candidates for all the examinations, with a total of 33,315 candidates. Schools that came in for this 168,116 candidates. So before going to the results, I will talk briefly about the fair results before I can talk about the performance of the candidates. The result for some candidates, and in some instances, all candidates from some schools are being withheld pending further investigation and determination by the appropriate committee of council. A summary of the withheld results is as follows. We'll start with WASSCE, which is the biggest one. Firstly, we'll look at irregularity involving individual candidates. 725 candidates' results are being withheld for their involvement in 4 types of examination malpractice. And the old types are those who were caught with cell phones, 41 candidates, caught with foreign materials, 3,562 candidates, those who were involved in other irregular activities, 163 candidates, and those who either insulted or assaulted examination workers were 18. So in all of the 50,001 candidates who sat the exam, 3,757 results are being withheld for what they did individually. When it comes to entire schools, we have some schools who were involved in collusion, and of the 975 schools, 534 of the schools were involved in collusion. We don't have others for WASSCE. And when we talk about collusion, it's on subject basis. For the Liberia Junior High School Certificate Examination, we have irregularity involving individual candidates, and we are reporting that 83 candidates' results are being withheld for their involvement in 4 types of examination. We had 3 students at the level of the junior high who were caught with cell phones. We have 109 candidates who took foreign materials with them. 5 candidates were involved in other irregular activities, and 2 candidates insulted or assaulted examination workers. So this brings the total to 119 candidates who were involved in some form of examination malpractice, which constitutes less than 1% of the total candidates who sat the exam. For irregularity involving entire schools, it is interesting to note that even at the level of junior high, we have collusion taking place. So we have 26 schools at the level of the junior high who colluded, and 2 other schools. For the others, we have 2 other schools who are indebted to us. They have not paid for the candidates who came for the exam. So all of the candidates' results are being withheld until they can pay. Okay, so For the other two examinations, the malpractice for the third graders and the sixth graders. And let's go to performance of candidates on the exam, and we'll start with the third graders. The Liberia National Assessment Test. The Liberia National Assessment Test for grade 3 was administered on the school campuses of all the schools that enter for the examination in the 15 counties on June 5, 2024. The candidates were assessed in two subjects, numeracy and literacy. For a candidate to be successful on this exam, he or she must pass in both subjects with at least an E8. The statistics of performance on the examination are presented in the tables below. So tell us SAT and performance per journal. So for this exam, we have 14,000 for the 7 males that registered and 14,819 females, giving us a total of 28,866. So this exam is the males. Those who sat were 13,632 males and 14,387 females, giving us a total of 28,019 candidates who sat. For the 13,632 males that sat, 11,706 were able to pass in the two subjects, whereas for the females, 12,263 or the 14,387 candidates who sat the exam were able to pass both subjects. So we have only 4,050 candidates failing either one or two subjects. So for the third graders, we have 85.55% of the candidates who sat the exam being successful and 14.45% of the candidates failing the exam. The table above shows that the overall performance of the candidates on the Liberia National Assessment Test was very good, and that the males performed slightly better than their female counterparts. Now, statistics of performance per subject on this exam. How did they perform? How much did they score in each subject? So for numeracy, you have 25,392 person who sat, 500 against score A1, 1,960 score B2, 3,184 score B3, 5,105 score C4, 5,060 score C5, 4,815 score C6, 1,568 D7, 1,794 E8. So the total number of candidates that passed numeracy of the 25,392 candidates who sat, we have 24,526 of them passing, with 73.27 of them getting credit and 96% pass rate. The same thing for literacy, we have 763 scoring A1, 1,535 B2, 2,645 B3, 5,332 for C4, 5,022 for C5, 4,335 for C6, 3,388 for T7, and 2,016 for E8, with a total pass rate of 97.83. So from this statistics, we see that of the candidates in language arts was slightly better than that of fact they did in mathematics. Then we'll take you to the county. How did the candidates perform? How did the candidates perform per county? We have 15 counties, and let me just emphasize Guinea. Over the years, we have had Liberians who are attending schools in Guinea using the Liberian curriculum, coming over to Kanta to do the exam on schools that are in Kanta, even though they are attending schools in Guinea. So for some years, the Ministry of Education engaged us, and working through the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we actually able to go to Guinea this year and administer exam to 3 schools. I'll say 3 schools. Yeah, 3 schools at the senior high level. Let me see at the third grade level how many schools. Okay, at the third grade, we have 2 schools that came in for this exam in Guinea. So if you look at the statistics per county, we'll give you this, and you look at it, you see that the students in Grand Jude County, the candidates from Grand Jude, received the higher passing mark. 95.45% of the candidates from Grand Jude at the third grade level have all of the candidates passing the both subjects looking in for the exam. So this is the county statistics. You will be hearing that later. So I now want to move on to the 6th graders, the Liberia Primary School Certificate exam. The Liberia Primary School Certificate SM was administered as and social studies. For a candidate to be at least 3 subjects with a minimum of an E8. So the statistics of performance on the examination are presented below. So table 10 gives us the summary statistics of entry, SAT, and performance per channel for this SM, and they were only assessed in objective, just like the tables. So for the male, we had 20,402 who registered for the SM, 20,390 SAT, 18,451 pass, and 1,939 fail in one or more fail in more than one subject. So we have a pass rate for the male being 90.49%. The female, 22,035 candidates registered, 22,025 SAT, 20,053 pass, and 1,972 fail with a pass rate of 91.05% for the females. So the total for the 2,437 candidates registered, for the 2,415 SAT, 38,504 pass, and 3,911 fail with a total pass rate of 90.78. So from the table above, the candidate performance was very good, excellent, and we see that the females perform slightly better than the male counterpart. For the statistics per subject, the 4 subject, we have mathematics 40,158% SAT, 1,601 A1, 2,634 B2, 4,972 B3, 6,386 C4, 8,225 C5, 6,847 C6, 4,912 D7, 2,773 E8, with a total pass rate of 1.51 for mathematics. General science, for the 2,439 SAT, registered, 39,867 SAT, A1, 2,566 B2, 6,183 C4, 8,447 C5, 6,672 C6, 4,727 D7, and 3,082 E8 with a total pass rate of 91.82 in general science. Language arts have for the 2,439 candidates who registered, 39,454 SAT, 1,576 A1, 2,590 B2, 4,812 B3, 6,345 C4, 7,621 C5, 6,610 C6, 5,361 D7, 2,736 E8 with a total pass rate of 91.44. Social studies 2,439, 35,586 SAT, 1,365 A1, 2,328 B2, 4,205 B3, 6,006 C4, 7,440 C5, 5,581 C6, 4,088 that's G7, and 2,897 E8 with a total pass rate of 91.45. So from this, we see that the general science, the performance in the general science was slightly better than the other 3 subjects. Then we come to county performance from Bomi all the way to Guinea. So, like I indicated previously, 2,703 candidates. And for this, the 3 schools in Guinea that had 70 candidates, with all 70 candidates passing, only one of the students failing. So Guinea, we call it the higher pass mark on the Liberia Primary School Certificate exam. High School Certificate exam. We're going to finish in Liberia Junior High School Certificate exam was administered at 361 centers in the 15 counties and Republic of Guinea on June 10 and 11, 2024. For a candidate to be successful on this exam, he or she must pass in at least 3 subjects with a minimum of an E8. The statistics of performance are as follows. Summary statistics of entry, SAT, and performance pass for this general for this exam. Male, 22,175 registered, 21,431 SAT, 19,893 pass, 1,538 fail. Female, 24,226 registered, 23,549 SAT, 21,9 940 passed, 1,609 failed. So the overall pass rate is 93%, and from this, when we look at the performance of the male and the female, we see that the female performs slightly better than that of the male counterpart. Again, how did they perform per subject? For mathematics, 77 A1, 1096 B2, 3054 B3, 2676 C4, 6603 C5, 9144 C6, 6231 D7, and 11959 D8, with a total pass rate of 95.72. For mathematics. General science, 4,454 B2, 3,454 C4, 7,161 C5, 5,693 C6, 9,075 D7, 3,356 D8, with a total pass rate of 96.74. Language arts, nobody got A1. 4% got B2, 112% got B3, 1,685 C4, 9,700 C5, C6 is 8,516, D7 is 17,147, E8 is 3,677, with a total pass rate of 96.0. Social studies 7, A1, 177, B2 2074, B3 6313 C4 11,927 C5 9163 C6 29,006. Okay, D7 6,982 E8 pass rate 96. So when you look at the performance of this is just a general science performs slightly better than the rest of the subjects. How did they perform per county? How did the candidates perform per county? Again, we have all 15 counties presenting candidates, and how you call it in the Republic of Guinea. Again, the 3 schools in Guinea presented 27 students. All 27 of them sat. I think Guinea is the only place where you have everybody said there were no absentee, and then all 27 passed. So Guinea, we call it the highest pass rate at the level of the Liberia Junior High School Certificate exam. Then the biggest one, the West African Senior School Certificate exam. WASSCE for school candidates was administered at 327 centers in the 15 counties in the Republic of Guinea from May 15 to June 25, 2024. The overall performance as subject on the exam is encouraging as compared to the counterparts who sat the same examination nationally for the first time in 2018. 9 subjects were offered on examination, with the arts candidates sitting for 7 and the science candidates doing a minimum of 7 subjects. So when I give you the performance per subject, but there are many subjects, so we did not start from A1 to how you call it to E8. Is here we aggregated them. So for economics, for the 4,288% sat economics, 7,856 got credit on A1 to C6, 18,860 passed with T7 and E8. So all of the passes amount to 26,716 for economics, which gave us a pass rate of 60.32%. For geography, for the 8,354 candidates sat, 441 candidates got from A1 to 20,369 got T7 and E8, and the total pass is 20,810 with a total pass rate of 43.04%. For history, for the 3,018 sat, 933 passed with credit from A1 to C6, 12,391 from D7 to E8 with a total of 13,324 candidates passing, and the total pass rate for history is 30.97%. For literature, for the 2007-88 sat literature, 19 obtained A1 to C6, 1,499 D7 to E8 with a total pass rate of 3.55%. English language, for the 7,255 passed, 28% got credit scores, 21,487 got T7 to E8 with a total of 21,515 passing exam, with a total pass rate of 45.53. Mathematics sat 1,360, interestingly, most people passed with credit in mathematics and English. 1,360 passed with credit, 12,961 passed mathematics, bringing the total pass to mathematics to 14,321 with a total pass rate of 31.3%. Biology for the 8754 SAT, 7,357 pass for credit, 25,705 pass T7 and E8, with a total of 33,062 candidates passing biology, bringing a total pass rate of 67.81% in biology. Chemistry, 40,098 SAT, 128 pass with credit, 12,598 school T7 and E8, 12,726 pass with a total pass rate of 31.74. Physics for the 2,658 SAT, 206 pass with credit, 17,130 pass with a total of 17,336 and total pass rate of 40.64. So looking at the statistics I've just read, we have two subjects that have passing, and those two subjects are economics and biology. On the basis of the different countries and how they perform. If we look at the performance again, we have people from all 50 countries and the Republic of Guinea. Looking at it, those who have at least a minimum pass rate of one subject, we have the candidates from Maryland County. The candidates from Maryland County, they got 98.29% of the candidates that sat the exam being successful. So that concludes the result. Let me go to other issue. Certificates. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the Secretarial Memorial Office of WASSCE wishes to inform the public that certificates for examinations conducted by WASSCE in Liberia prior to 2024 will be available for collection by school authorities by the end of November of this year. Henceforth, all certificates for examinations will be released to stakeholders at least 3 months after the release of results. This year's certificates will be available for collection by December, at which time all outstanding issues such as resolution of queries, request for revision of scripts, decision on irregularity cases, etc., will have all been resolved. The assembly Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, the issue of challenges that confront the Secretariat during the conduct of its examination cannot be overemphasized. The previous years, the 2024 exams were administered under daunting challenges, key among which are as follows. 1, delay in candidate registration by schools. We want to encourage the schools to submit the entry on time. We have to shift the examination date for the national exam on 1 or 2 occasions. And the most daunting one was the non-availability of the objective answer sheet or the OMR sheet. For those of us in this room who, one way or the other, have taken the WASSCE exam in the past, I'm sure we are all accustomed or we are all familiar with what we call the objective answer sheet, where people can shade their objective responses. Unfortunately for us this year, the objective answer sheets did not arrive in country until the exam got completed. So all the candidates had to use circle in the question booklet. The public was uneasy with us. They could not understand why it was taking us so long to release results, but I should tell you that it's very challenging. And getting the responses from the objective answer sheets as compared to machines marking. When the candidates shade on the objective answer sheet and we take it, we just place it on the machine. A machine within an hour's time, one machine can mark up to 5,000 scripts. Whereas when you human being, you are getting the responses before you process, then within an hour time you will not be able to get the responses from 50 persons. So it was actually challenging enough. The main reason for which the results are being released at this time. I want to also appreciate the public, especially the candidates who take the exam, their school, us during this year. I want to assure them that the objective answer sheet that we will not use for this year are already in country. So the issue of objective answer sheet will not arise. The call allows us to be in existence in 2025. The use of social media to perpetrate examination malpractice was another challenge that we had. The use of social media to perpetrate examination malpractice was a huge distraction in the conduct of the examination for school candidates 2024 in Liberia. The Secretariat is currently prosecuting some of those who were involved in such unwholesome practices. As these cases are still to be adjudicated, the public will be informed accordingly. So we're not going to call any name yet because we are still in court. And I think that's the most appropriate thing to do. Once these cases are properly adjudicated, we come back to the press, we come back to the public, we mean and shin. Because in the society, we should start from the homes. From the homes, we should go to the school, right? So we should carry everywhere. We should not only look at people who are up there. Corruption does not start from up there, it starts from below. So we can assure you that we will name and shame people as soon as the process is or reaches its logical conclusion. Because I know some of you will ask me question. Well, yes, they call people who were involved in names of people who were involved in this thing. We're not doing that because you are currently in court. Distinguished members of the Fourth Estate, the Secretariat WASSCE wishes to express its sincere gratitude to the President, the government, and people of the Republic of Liberia for the confidence they continue to repose in WASSCE to execute the mandate of the Council in Liberia. The Secretariat is immensely grateful to the government of Liberia for paying the fees for all candidates who sat the West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates 2024 and those in public schools for the Liberia General School Certificate Exam. The Secretariat providing quality service delivered to the people of Liberia and the sub-region in the years ahead. The Secretariat also wishes to appreciate the Honorable Minister of Education, and I'm sure you'll be able to convey our sentiment to her. And you, Honorable Minister and Chief Government nominee, members of Council in Liberia, Educational Secretariats, school authorities in Liberia National Police, and I want to thank all the Liberia National Police for their immense support to the Secretariat in this year, and other actors in the security sector, the Liberia Revenue Authority, the management of the Liberia International Airport and the Freeport of Montreal, Cotton University, our supervisors, proctors, our monitors, our examiners, our checkers, you on the Fourth Estate, the auxiliary staff, even drivers, all candidates and the parents as well as other stakeholders who supported and collaborated with us in the conduct of ASN in 2024. Finally, let me appreciate my own staff. At least maybe after today we'll have some time to rest because it has not been easy on us in the past. So I want to appreciate the heads of division and all staff of the Liberia National Office to excellence in the execution of the council's mandate in Liberia. School authorities started accessing the candidates result as of yesterday. And let me explain. Over the years, we released results like this before we made them to access the result. But because we had an issue of graduation and we were waiting to the Ministry of Education every now and then, and we have given them our word about September 15. We have released the result. We realizing that September 15 was Sunday, and they were already agitating. So we allowed them to have access to the result, September 18. As this result are provisional, the Secretariat wishes to inform and assure the public that once queries are identified and resolved, the results will be updated accordingly. Indeed, all thanks and glory belong to Almighty. Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you so much, members of the press. We are aware that we are raising against time. We told you we were going to start 3:30, but you know engagements cause us to start a little after 3:30. Now the floor will be open for questions and answers. We will take at most 5. Please be to the point. Please remain within the confines of what was released. Thank you. So I'll go here.
Thank you, Mr. Langwe. I'm Julius Hunton from Fulton Television. Thank you for the lengthy results released. Mr. Boto, in past results that were released by WASSCE, we normally hear names of exceptional students that performed in the test. This year is different. Is there any reason why, sir?
Should we take the questions?
We will take 3, and then we'll respond, then we take the last 3. So I will increase it to 6. So we take the first 3. Yeah, so ELBC.
Well, my name is Ayisen Diva. So I would like to know where do you stand when it comes to taking responsibilities for some of those schools who were some way somehow in violation due to the prolonged delay from WASSCE, and they had to go about graduating their students.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Domingo. I write for the People's Newspaper. Mr. Soto, I want to know what mechanism are you people putting into place to stop the reoccurrence of tests being linked to the public, as we witnessed during the mathematics test, which was linked to the public for which mathematics test.
Okay, so we will go to the head of office.
So maybe I'm
to address the first.
So what's your name again?
Domingo.
So you say what is the mathematics test link?
Yeah, which was linked to the public for which
You have evidence?
But WASSCE released a statement on that as linked to the mathematics test, which you people have to postpone to implement it.
No, postponing the test, that could be very reasons of which test. I mean, I test the mathematics test was postponed. But I'm hearing from you that the test leaked. So that's why I'm asking you whether you have evidence. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to intimidate you. I just want for it to be a casual dialogue between us at all. So okay, but let me address your issue, and I will start with him first, since I started asking him questions. Yes. Okay, so we have so many mechanisms in place. Credible examination. If the exams that will be administered cannot be credible, then we have no proceeding sitting where we are sitting. Sadly, and regrettably, apparently it looks that the society goes against people who want to fight this facet in the society. It is sad and it's regrettable. But I can show you as an institution. If you look up here, we have our strategic plan, and the very first thing we have there is what? The conduct of credible examination. So if we cannot administer credible examination, we should not be here. So we have so many measures we are putting in place. Some of the measures will be very cost intensive, but if we want to remain relevant and we want to serve the public as we ought to, then we have to do that. What I cannot do here now is to disclose to you in detail the measures that we put in place, because the firsters will always want to. You may begin to tell them, they will go and strategize, and we'll see how they can get ahead of us. So I can tell you that we have so many measures in place, but I will not disclose them. I'm sorry if I did not answer your question directly. On the violation of graduation, I'm happy that the Deputy Minister is here. And since it is a government policy, I think they can speak on that. Names of exceptional students. Yes, we should have brought the names of some exceptional students. But as we're going through some results, we observe some things for which we decided that the most prudent thing for us to do for now is to pull those names until we can conclude investigation. So maybe before you ask further questions, take for instance, it is not possible for 10 students to come from the school and all of them in school receiving since March in all the subjects. So if I'm saying you are exceptional, you should be actually exceptional. I don't want to be convinced that everybody in the school have the same ability. And so that's why we pause that until we do further investigation. And when it's concluded, we will report to the appropriate committee, and then what we'll do, we'll organize a formal program so that we can honor the exceptional students. The minister answer the issue of violation.
When it comes to the violation of those that went against our policy, the minister has informed the board and those that are responsible for school that went against them. But as far as I'm concerned, we have not received report yet, except that you disclose any school that have violation. Up to the time we said there is no violation. Well, I'm just hearing that from you, but if it's true, you tell it from
Okay, so we will move to the other side. Yeah, we've done with that. And so we will begin with you, your name, your institution, and your questions.
Okay, my name is Princess Ampoya Kamara. I report for the Care Communications Network. Basically, I want to know the names of some student names when we come due to some other malpractices. And looking at the results being out, where do the parents stand? Is there a grace period given to investigate some of those students who were caught doing that?
Okay. Lomo, or you will call your name.
My name is Nevan Kame Lomo, and I report for the News Publishers Media. So you gave a credit like from A1 to E8.
Yes.
So I would actually like to understand and know what those alphabet in the number stand for. When you really like that EAD 7 the rest of them.
Okay, then we move to.
Thank you. My name is Punya Philip. I read for the Liberia newspaper. Mr. Boto, this is professional result that we said. But usually we know when YF gave the result, they found to name schools. You know, similar to that question that tab the result. So can you tell us which school and from where has the higher mark in this test? Thank you.
So it's an upgrade of the question I was asking.
Exactly.
Okay. So yes. So what happened is that whenever we are releasing these results, for some things, for the involvement in some irregularity. Now, given the volume and given the fact that the entire office was focused on the release of this result, we will not go into nitty-gritty. Well, we have a staff committee that will go through it. If we don't have sufficient evidence, and it costs no one anything. If we don't have sufficient evidence, and because these are reports that we receive for the team, right? So what we do firstly is that if you send us a report, we'll go through. Before we go through it, because if we say we'll go through them before releasing the result, and the result will be released on time. So we'll go through that. Those that don't have sufficient evidence for will release the result. The ones that will take more time will be the pollution. And let me sound this clearly. It has come to our attention that some school authorities are in the habit of collecting money from their students under the pretense that they will go to WASSCE so WASSCE can clear them for pollution. If you give anybody money for pollution, obviously it's free of charge. Free. So if your school results are being withheld because of pollution, don't collect any money, don't give money to anybody. The pollution is hard, it's difficult, because we have to do due diligence to the process. If you say school A that had 100 colonies polluted in subject X, we have to take our own time and go through the papers one by one. But some of the things that I have seen, pollution have done, we have to get this. Because if you go into a field, if they are answering questions around the test, why actually do a lot of? You did not ask if you would name the capital city of some countries. And maybe you asked them to name rivers and name capital city of country. Why are you looking for? You need to have the questions are before you. So when we are satisfied that the students were actually guilty, we invite the school authorities so they can come and see what we have seen. The reason we invite to give them what we call due process. So they can see, so they can say, why I just want to penalize our students. Come and see for yourself, and then maybe you can put corrective measures in place. That's why we call the school authorities. In the past, they should come, and we'll just allow them to go. Then we just won't tell the people, but this time when they come, we will make them the way we put. Tell us why you saw it before. Your children did not go. We are aware that some school authority will come and they say, oh, though, when you find in Liberia, they will say Sierra Leone to the west, right? But when I was teaching my students, I said Sierra Leone to the east. So that's why the children say on the east of Liberia, you find Sierra Leone. So I don't want to talk to them to do that. I said, don't hold them responsible. I don't want to talk to the students. Teacher. And you are a teacher and you come in and you defending Why all the students behind La Liberia are telling us that seven you taught them to buy La Liberia like that. So until we can do all of this, we'll not be able to complete that. When we find that, when we conclude all of this, our own internal investigations, and we realize that they are culpable, we report them to a committee. Fortunately for that, he chairs a committee. We report them to that committee. We have all the educational secretariat, the principal association, the NTA, they are all part of that committee. The school secretariat, and the universities, they are all part of that committee. We report them to that committee. We say, these people polluted. In fact, I know some schools are maybe necessary not to the same.
Such as.
I can call a school name now, but what I can say is that in one of the committee was concerned why we kept on having pollution repeatedly. So what were we doing? Like the question someone asked, what mechanism were we putting in place, to prevent the reoccurrence of pollution? So we identified schools that have polluted repeatedly. And we made a proposal to the committee that if these schools, if the candidates from these schools pollute this year, they should not be allowed to take the exam for 2 years. The committee thought we were too harsh. So they said, no, we should reduce it to 1 year. But we wrote those schools. So what we did, we wrote those schools. If those schools have school system, the districts that they were in, we CC the DEOs, the county that they are from. We will CC the CEO. Please tell these schools that if this year the students are among those who will be involved in pollution, they will not take the exam. Let's say you get in the 12th grade, try to find the first school because we will not allow you. So I hope how many schools were 32 schools in the Liberia.
Sorry, both private and public.
Both public and private, and they from the angle from Australia, from all over. So I hope those schools are calling themselves according to. So as soon as we complete that, we will release the result. All the results will be cancelled. Okay. Create interpretation. Somebody ask for the place, right? So it's just like when you go to the university, they say A is for what? That's it, right? We get instead of us using a 4-point scale, a 4-pointer scale, we're using 9 points. So I'm sorry, maybe I should have brought it for your consideration. A1 represents excellent. B2 is very good. B3 is good. C4, C5, C6, they are all credits and they are good passes. In other countries, no, this one I try. It's still good passes. It's like you are above Irish. You are above Irish, right? The schools, they're not fair. The fair people that they put at school D7. And you at the penalty, we are all there, but when I used to like A1 in school, I told myself to all go. So we made the grade range to be wide so that it can accommodate more people. E8, F9 is but unfortunately, you can take the test passing maybe on the basis of the school grades that was submitted by the schools, because the school grades can help people, they can help some people. So there are benchmarks. For WASSCE, we don't determine the benchmark. The benchmark is determined by headquarters and is applied to all of the countries. So if you saw us reporting from WASSCE, you should know that the WASSCE this grade constitutes A1. The same A1, so the A1 in Liberia is equivalent to the A1 in Ghana, is equivalent to the A1 in Nigeria and this. So if a child in Nigeria scores A1 and a child in Liberia scores A1, they may not necessarily score, they may not necessarily get the same mark, but that's a great range. Yeah. Right? That's a range. So once you fall within that range, you get a particular score. I hope I will answer your question. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Boto, sorry, summary was comparatively last year, this year.
What was the last question? Who names? So indirectly, I answer you when I'm answering this question. Because the higher school level, okay, take for example, when I was talking I said we saw some things that were alarming. That the candidates from your school all score A1. That's good. But then when we decided to investigate further, we realized that they all were scoring the same mark. So cut our break. We need to investigate Is it possible? I just give an example for 10 students who come from the same school and they all score the same mark. So we need to investigate. We're going to look at other factors. We're going to look at the school grades that is submitted to us. All the children from the school, they all were so in the class, there was no competition, right? The one person scored 90, everybody in the class was scoring 90. So we need to look at other things. So for that, because we're going to investigate further, we cannot call names of schools now because I don't want to call names of schools before I go and revoke it. And because we investigate further, investigation establishes something went wrong. So obviously, we will not give you what was supposed to give you. But if it is established that those grades